My name's Gareth, Owen. We're here today on our family farm in Cwmcloch, which is in Bedgelert in the heart of Snowdonia. I've been blade shearing now for about 30 years. Been shearing commercially, been over to New Zealand a couple of times shearing commercially. Blade shearing in the UK is more of a hobby than a profession to compare with different parts of the world. Still quite a few countries that still blade shear, which is New Zealand in the high country down the South Island, South Africa, Lesotho, and some places in Argentina as well, and in the Falklands. Most sheep are blade shorn because of the climate, with the weather, with high rainfall and with the cold weather we get up in these parts. So we tend to try and leave about 10 or 15 mil of wool on each sheep. There are some guys that use electrical machines to shear, and they use like a cover comb, which they try and leave about 10 mil on, but the difference between a blade and a machine is, it's just unbelievable, the difference. Especially on fine wool sheep, the blades, it actually cuts the wool, whereas the machine actually shreds the wool. When it is cut, the bottom of the fibre is usually being shredded instead of being cut, so it's not quite as good as a blade shorn. It entails the same amount of catching and shearing, but it's just easy on the body, and usually the sheep tend to be calmer and happier being shorn with the blades instead of somebody going over. It's like somebody going over a person with a electric shaver. With a top blade shearer, he could probably shear 200 in a day. With somebody on the machine, they could easily shear 400-500 ewes in a day. So which you're being paid about £1.50, £2 with the blade, and you're being paid £1.30, £1.40 on the machine. Well, there's hundreds of pounds of difference in your wages every day. There's quite a few people coming into the doing it as a hobby. We could usually train somebody up roughly to shear. You could shear on your own after about 2 hours maybe. So it's an easier process to teach somebody than with a machine, because you don't really have to. If the sheep kicks and you get moved around, well, you can, you're not limited to the way you stand as with a machine. And we get some customers that specifically want us to shear with the blades, especially like little small holders, because it is kinder on the sheep. We have several competitions a lot in and around the UK every year. I think must be about 15 blade competitions, so it's a good get together because there isn't much of us. We usually meet up in these competitions and have a good time, and especially once you get to the top of the game, your main objective then is trying to get into your national team. Well, every 2, 3 or 4 years we have the World Shearing Championships, so it's a big honour to represent Wales or whichever country you're from. Most of the blades that we buy in are made up in Sheffield from Bergen and Ball. They've been making blades now since the late 1700s or something. And our objective is hopefully to get more people involved in the sport, train as many people as we can, just to keep the old traditions going. Age is only a number, because one of the main competitors in the UK is George Mudge, and he's well in his 70s, and it's a hell of a job to beat him. He is very good. Fair play to him. Thank you.